purpose of my life has been as a mother is protecting my children, and I've had to kind of leave them in God's hands the last couple of years, and I just can't wait to get to see them, and I hope I hug and tell her I love her.
How does a mother cleared of molestation charges begin to rebuild her family after 2 years of fighting for her life? Good evening. Tonya Craft's attorneys have begun the process of reuniting her with her children now that she's been acquitted of all 22 counts.
So many of you are wanting to know how this portion of the story ends, but you could say the story is really just beginning. Tonight we asked the district attorney's office for an explanation after accusations of fraud were made by Tonya Craft's attorney. You'll hear from a juror in the case who talks about how they reached their decision. And back to that custody issue, when will Tonya Craft see her children? Team coverage begins with Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Melinda Kluhl.
Well, David, the when is still unknown in this issue, but regaining custody of her young son and daughter is priority one for Tonya Craft. Her attorneys want her children returned to her without delay. She has said throughout this entire ordeal that she has been concerned not only for her own children, but for all children, and she has prepared herself for the worst, but has been praying for the best.
You know, that's what I thought about. There is no best for anybody, for me or the children involved in this, or any family or any person. So there is no best. I've always said there's a no-win. It's a no-win situation. We can help repair, and we can fight, and we can help other people not go through this, and other children. But I can't get the 2 birthdays I lost to my daughters. I can't ever get those back. And the time away from my son, and I can't get those back. But it doesn't mean we can't be stronger and move forward and help other people. I had to hold on the whole time that good has got to come out of the bad. Like I said, I don't want it to be about a story. I don't want anything to be about me. I want it to be about false allegations and what it does to the children. This could be any teacher. It could be any, I hate to sound cliche. Like they were saying, it could be I don't even remember all the people a priest or a Boy Scout or Girl Scout. It could be anybody. As we said, you walk into Walmart and a child says something, and then your whole life's destroyed.
Mrs. Craft, more than many others, is articulate, smart, pretty, hard driving, has been radically victimized, and can speak out about this sort of thing, and we're going to help her.
Now is the beginning of the battle. It's not the end, it's the beginning. I'm fighting for my children, and I will not stop until I have my children.
Now, as we told you last night, within just a couple of hours of a verdict being reached in this case, her attorney shifted gears. They immediately began working on this process of putting her back together with her children. And they tell us that over the next few days, they will be actively involved with a sense of urgency in making sure that she sees her children as soon as possible.
Thank you, Melinda. We will never know if it was innocence or lack of evidence that led to Craft's acquittal. Today we spoke with a juror who wanted to remain anonymous. He said the jury made a pact never to discuss why they made their decision, but to let the verdict speak for itself.
We started up voting with prayer. We ended our jury duty with prayer. We know we had divine intervention on our behalf. It was absolutely remarkable that we were able to do so with such peace and such assurance that we were doing the right thing. We all shared consistently the sleepless nights, the nightmares, the waking up in the middle of the night, thinking about this, pondering it, trying to process it. There was not a harsh word, not only during the deliberations, but in the 4.5 weeks we were together. It was better than family.
Well, now to the state side. You've heard a lot about the Lookout Mountain Judicial Circuit during this trial. That agency is the judicial arm of Walker, Catoosa, Chattooga, and Dade counties. It consists of 4 judges, including Judge Brian House. Buzz Franklin is the district attorney. His assistants include Chris Arndt and Lynn Greger. No one from the circuit is talking tonight, despite the fact they are public servants, some elected officials, and they're all paid by taxpayers. Many residents told Eyewitness News they wanted an explanation because their money was used to launch the case against Tonya Craft. Callie Starnes tried to get answers to your questions, but found out it's not that easy. Callie?
No, it wasn't, David, but we will continue to give prosecutors the opportunity to tell their side of the story. But for now, they are staying tight-lipped on Tonya Craft's acquittal and the rumor of an FBI investigation against them.
Lois Spence followed the Tonya Craft trial closely and feels while the jury got it right, the Lookout Mountain Judicial Circuit did not.
A judge is supposed to be impartial, and I didn't feel like he was impartial.
Spence isn't the only one who believes Tonya Craft did not receive a fair trial.
If we're wrong, we're stupid. But if we're right, it's a state and a federal crime. So yes, the FBI is involved. Yes, the U.S. Attorney's Office is involved. I have an ethical responsibility to report things like this. And I did.
Dr. Demosthenes Lorandos says his client was the victim of incompetent child interviewers, inept investigators, and fraudulent evidence. For that reason, he's contacted the FBI.
I'm a lawyer connected with the NACDL, the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. And we're not going to let some local judge back us down. We're not going to let some local cop create what appears to be fraudulent evidence. No, I don't think so.
We took Dr. Lorandos' claims to prosecutors Chris Arndt and Lynn Greger. Both declined to take our call. District Attorney Buzz Franklin, who did not make an appearance at Craft's trial, also refused to talk to us.